Hey guys, Steven here with Car Track Reviews. We're going to go over a Colorado Karting Circuit at Centennial Airport in Englewood, Colorado. I believe it was my last or second to last track that I went to when I went to Denver, Colorado. So let's talk about it. Alright, so pricing is a little bit interesting here, mainly because they don't have a membership, but they do have a 10% discount for first responders and military personnel, which is nice. If you were to only do one race, it's about $40. If you did two races, it's $75, which is $37.50 per race. And if you did three races, it's $90, making it $30 per race. Unfortunately, this is really high. Most tracks that I've been to max out at about $30 per race, but Colorado Karting Circuit mins out? Is that a term? Mins out at $30 per race, so that's a lot. So because of the high prices for pricing, I do give them a 6. I was considering a 5, but because they have the 10% discount for military personnel and first responders, I thought that was pretty good for them at least. Alright, so for karts, the karts were not very consistent at all. I had a good kart and I had a bad kart. I did about 2 races there. Of course, sample size is small, but the fact that one of my karts went significantly slower than the other was pretty disappointing. But the fast kart was actually kind of fun, and if every kart was that fast and also that easy to handle, relatively speaking, then I probably would have given them a higher score, but unfortunately, you got to work on all of your karts and make sure all your karts are consistent, or at least check them and make sure they're all consistent with each other. So for that, I give them a 7 for karting. The tires are okay. Everything was okay with the karts. It was pretty average, to be honest with you. Having a kart that doesn't line up with the rest of them is pretty annoying. Alright, so for track flow, this is actually really interesting. This is definitely the best karting track I've ever been on. It's got everything you want. A lot of different types of turns, elevation changes, the pavement is pretty well maintained. There's pretty good runoff, so if you were to bring an actually good kart there, a non-rental kart, you'd have a great time. Everything about this kart track is just amazing, and I wish I really did have it in my backyard, but unfortunately it's a little bit far away. So for track flow, I give them a 9, which is the highest track flow rating I've ever given. It has everything you would expect for a proper track, and I just mean a track in all sense of the word. A go-kart track could be just a go-kart track, but this is a track that that an amateur race will be fun to watch or race in, or a professional race even will be fun to watch or race in. An actual car track that's really good and has good reputation is kind of similar to this karting track. It's just on a different scale. So for customer service, I actually give them an 8. As you all know, customer service is very much going to be my personal experience that I had there, so it may not line up with yours. However, they were very accommodating. If I remember correctly, I came towards the end of the day, and they, I said, oh, I wanted to do 3 races, but, I don't mind 2, and they actually almost accommodated the 3rd race, but, as it got closer, they were like, they didn't have enough time, and that's totally fine. I like that transparency, for lack of a better word. They were very helpful in letting me know, hey, we can try to get you in, but it may not work out. Okay, well, I appreciate that, so I appreciate the effort. So for a summary, pricing got a 6, way too high. way too high pricing for this kind of location, and you're not even getting perfectly maintained karts, which I think is, if they had perfectly maintained karts, maybe they would get a 7. But in this case, they got a 6. The karts themselves got a 7. The good karts were good, and definitely what I expect from a kart, but there was a bad kart. The track flow, I got a 9. Highest rating I've ever given so far, and well deserved. If I had a nice kart, I would absolutely bring it there. And customer service, they got an 8. For a total of 30 out of 40. That's about average scoring across the board so far. And if they worked on their pricing, and maybe if they worked on their karts as well a little bit with better maintaining, or at least not giving a terrible kart to a customer, you know, that would obviously boost up the score, and they might actually have one of the better rankings of any kart track I've been to. That track flow definitely helps them out because it's a great track for sure. So the question is, would I go back? I would like to go back. However, I think that I'm gonna need more time. I was a little rushed when I went there, so I was kind of just accepting the faults of the place, such as that bad kart. I wasn't gonna try to go in and say, hey, I need a different kart, and have them try to find a better kart and waste all this time. I just didn't have enough time to do that. So I would like to go back and actually enjoy the place and kind of relax and maybe do more than 3 races. One of my biggest problems with the place, which they may improve at some point, is that you don't see your lap times until you're off the track, which for a place that rents karts, I think you should have some sort of lap viewing screen, or something to tell the renters that what their lap times are while they're racing. It's better, it's more fun, and unfortunately you don't know until you're done on the track. So at least they do give you lap times, which is better than some places, which if you saw my one of my other recent videos in Colorado, that track didn't have any lap times, which, whatever. So, if you guys like this video, like the video. If you don't, dislike it. If you dislike it, tell me why. I hope to get to another couple tracks soon. So I'll see you guys later.